weirdo who's making claims that if you don't sit down on a bench properly, it means people don't take you seriously. So he's trying to educate people.
So this is a video by Penguin0, Voice Critical. It's about like this alpha male, how to sit, how to drink a coffee, and how ridiculous it is. And I'm not saying it's not ridiculous, but it's actually nothing new.
On like proper sitting techniques as well as how to carry a folder like a man and how to have your coffee cup serve you.
Brother, you have to be present with anything that you do. Simply taking a seat. If you're not paying attention, you start looking around and drop it. That's going to take away from your first impression. Lowers your status. And people around you not going to take you seriously. Move with purpose. So know already where you're going to land, where you're going to take a seat, and make it look effortless. Like an expert, not like a dog that's trying to take a dump.
Yeah, all those sitting experts, you want to emulate them. I feel like as long as you get those cheeks on the target, you've fundamentally become an expert at sitting. I don't think there's like
But there actually is sitting experts, and there has been for decades, like at least in England, like probably more than 100 years.
ranked or professional levels of popping a squat. You know what I mean? But like, this is what I'm talking about. Like there are so many people like this guy who just overcomplicate the most basic human activities and put so.
Like obviously, like it's kind of being repackaged for this kind of alpha male market. But we've had this stuff in England, I'm sure in America, and probably all around the world for years. And in England, it was called finishing school for ladies or whatever. So they go and do their education, but they have like classes also in like how to sit at a table correctly, how to walk correctly, how to which like how to use a spoon in a correct way, and how to drink from a glass in a way that a lady should, you know. And I guess it's to mix in high society and be proper and maybe find a good husband. But I'm almost certain the same thing happened for boys and for young men, like the equivalent of finishing school, like how to behave, how to walk, how to sit down. And I know a little bit of this from like working in like posh hotels, and they had like silver service. I never got up to silver service. I could lay silver service out. Obviously someone else would come and check it, but just that there's like all of these rules for like which spoon they use, how they pick it up, in which order, how you lay it down, and the wealthy or wannabe wealthy people would learn all of this shit, and way more, like how to walk.
So much emphasis on it to an absurd degree where they're claiming like this is going to ruin your first impression and lower your status. It's going to knock.
And actually, if you think like historically, if you sat down with some really well-to-do people who have been like in England for like a dinner party, and they've all been educated on how to sit and who should sit down first and when to stand up and how to pick a spoon up and how to drink, how to hold a glass correctly. If you did it wrong, those people actually would lose respect for you. So like it's nothing new. And I guess it doesn't apply in society as much now. But I will say one thing, like in this posh hotel, I was like the barman, and one of the worst things about being a barman is you have to stay up late until the guests want to go to bed, right? And the worst thing would be like a corporate event, and you'd have all of these like kind of Wolf of Wall Street type wannabes and stuff, just buying stupid shots, expensive shots, drinking expensive drinks all night, and you'd hear what they're talking about, and they would be literally talking about stuff like this. And this is like, I don't know, 20 years ago or something. They'd be talking about how you tie your shoes in a particular way, how high your socks are, how low your pants should be, different ways of tying a knot, putting your tie knot on, the knot that you put in your tie. There's like loads of different ones, and it says different things, and you have different ones for different, I don't know, different situations and shit. And you know, you can't be taken seriously unless your cufflinks are like this, or unless your shirt collar's like this, and unless you do so all this stuff is kind of like, it's been around for a long time, you know.
You down a few elo on the chair sitting competitive circuit. No one thinks like that. Absolutely nobody. This is
No, absolutely. Business type people, like corporate type people in England at least 20 years ago, they totally thought like this a lot. For decades, well-to-do young men and women and their parents have thought like this, and they've taught their kids how to, what is called etiquette or something, right? It's a big thing. It always has been a big thing, and a lot of people took it seriously then, and I guess they still do.
unhinged behavior. No one's going to see you sit on a bench and be like, well, I calculated his intent there, and I don't think he hit the landing mark he was aiming for. So I can't trust this guy, and I now view him very differently. He is lesser to me now because he sat in a less than perfect manner. He is clearly not an expert when it comes to...
Actually, in some situations, yes, they would.